All right, friends. In today's episode of Internet Nonsense, we have this lovely young lady. I believe her name is Olive, at least that's the name on her profile. And she seems to be having some issues with her neighbor who she shares a backyard with. There's an HOA involved, there's fines involved, there's a peeping Tom with reckless eyeballs, and it's just a whole conundrum. So let's hear her story because it's pretty juicy and she's pretty entertaining.
Neighbor has submitted new photo evidence of my crimes because not only has she started a petition to get me exiled from my neighborhood, but I've now received a $500 fine from my HOA because I've gotten too many complaints against me. So even though none of her complaints have been valid, um, they've gone in front of the board, but none of them have been valid, just because of the mass number. I must be doing something wrong. $500 fine. Yeah.
So we're off to a real nice juicy start. $500 fine over several complaints that are probably coming from that one same neighbor who, mind you, moved in after her. So she's been living at this house where they share a backyard. First of all, that's a problem for me. I'm not sharing anything with you. I know it doesn't sound very friendly, maybe a little antisocial, but it is what it is. It avoids issues like this. HOAs have been known for ripping you off. They don't do anything for you. All they do is charge you and be on your ass over stuff that's in your own house. Okay, so that's not gonna work for me. But this lady's a trip. This lady's a trip. Listen up.
Yeah, at the HOA meeting last night, she provided a lot more information, but I'll just get to the goods. Recently, 54 photos of me in my backyard. And you know what? I have been pushing her buttons a little. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I might have started doing Pilates in my backyard. But you know what? That's not a crime. It's not a crime. It's not a crime. I cannot help that her husband looks. He looks at me no matter what. And honestly, the weather's been nice, and I want to catch a tan. So I've been watering in my bikini top and doing Pilates in my bikini top, sue me. But $500 is pretty hefty, girls. So I fear she struck a nerve with me. So now I'm gonna double it. I'm gonna double it. And what should I put in my backyard? What should I do? Because I've already built a home. I already got a little place for these guys that she's so mad about. It's on the way. But what should I do now? I need to make investments, clearly. I fear she may have unlocked the game. She doesn't want to play with me.
Honestly, I would feel the same exact way. At that point, if you're going to be that petty, then we're going to take it there. And I'm going to find every single way, legal way, to annoy you and get under your skin. That's just what's going to have to happen. Who, whose fault is it that your husband's a pervert who can't keep his eyes to himself? Whose fault is that? That's something you need to take up with him, ma'am. Not with your neighbor. That's so creepy. People are so weird. So weird. Which is yet another reason why that whole open yard sharing HOA situation, it would just never work for me. It just would not, because we were going to have a problem. I need you to mind the business that pays you, and it's not mine.
My neighbor has informed my husband that he needs to get me under control because I'm tempting her husband by wearing my pajamas outside in the morning in my own damn yard, y'all.
No, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that he can't keep his eyes to himself? Some people will really never understand that the call is coming from inside the house. Mr. Creeperman is inside your house. That's what you married. So you're going to have to deal with it, ma'am. And not only that, but to have the nerve to call this lady's husband at work, like that's another level of stupid. You can, I suppose, I mean, I wouldn't receive it any better, but if you go up to somebody's house and you try to come up with this nonsense and try to talk to him, I mean, I would definitely look at you crazy. But calling my job or calling my husband's job, we're going to have a problem. See, because before you used to think that I was wearing whatever that your husband, his poor eyes couldn't handle. Now he's really gonna get a full view of things that is gonna bother you. It's just gonna have to happen. I'm gonna have to make it a point in my daily life to get under your skin. It's just gonna have to be that way because you've stepped a line that there's no going back from. You don't know if that could have cost that man his job. You don't know the type of consequences that this could have really had for him. This is a real life situation. Like, that's his job, his livelihood. And just because you or your creeper husband have nothing else to do but stalk your neighbor and take pictures of her, because mind you, this lady's taking lots of pictures of Miss Olive to prove her point to the HOA and get her fines and get her whatever kicked out of the neighborhood. I guess that's her point. But this could have really serious consequences for people. Stop messing around. Mind your business. I guess as someone who just doesn't have the interest and or time to be snooping on anybody else, I just don't care. I don't care. I'm the type of neighbor, hey, we'll wave at each other, be gorgeous. If you need something, absolutely. But I'm not going to be all up in your business. I don't care what you do. If you're not bothering anybody, if you're not being a total creep, like you're not fully nude walking around being a pervert, I don't care what you do. It's called minding your business. And a lot of people need to learn how to do that.
Now, I didn't realize that my marriage came with a parole officer, but according to Martha, it sure does. Apparently, my husband missed the orientation packet where wives are issued dress codes. Martha wants to promote my husband to neighborhood warden. I think she actually holds the title right now, but he's up in the running. I fear the problem is not my pajamas. It's actually her husband's extracurricular eyeballs, because that man is outside 24/7. You could say the call is coming from inside the house, Martha. Respectfully, if my floral house coat and white fuzzy slippers are causing domestic unrest in your house, you've got bigger fish to fry. Now, the fact is that she texted my husband instead of her own. She's complaining to my husband instead of her own. She really said, "Can you get your wife under control?" As if, he's misplaced my remote or something. Now, my husband is not my keeper. He's my husband. He's my emotional support idiot. She texted him that he needed to get me under control. Apparently, Martha is concerned about the examples that I'm setting for the neighborhood, and somebody needs to have a conversation with me about morals. And now she thinks the HOA is not working, calling the police on me isn't working, so she's really tuned into the husband part because he'll be able to get to me. Yeah, and he doesn't text back. Now she calls his office. Unfortunately for me, the first person to hear Miss Martha's concerns about my morals wasn't even my husband when she called his office. It was his self-proclaimed work wife. Yes, we've been dealing with that little issue. And Martha proclaimed to her that his outside wife, me, apparently has been tempting her husband in my pajamas outside. So she needed to speak to the head of the household if he was available. Now, funny thing, Martha, on our taxes, that's actually me, baby, but I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. He was busy in a meeting, but she left a note saying she'll be stopping by the office.
Hold up. Hard stop. Stopping by whose office? To do what? Ma'am, respectfully, I'm gonna have to make your life a living hell. It's it's a must. I'd be determined. It would be my life purpose, my daily goal, just a skill that I would have to develop and grow daily. Um, you better not come to my office. You better not go to my husband's office. It- don't do it. Don't do it. You're not gonna like it. Don't do it. My God. Imagine what is it like to have this amount of time in your hands? What is it like to be so miserable and just care so much about what other people do to just have the time to do this? I don't know. I can't relate. I can't relate to her story and her misery. I just can't. She just needs to poke his friggin' eyeballs and there, problem solved, I guess. I don't know. Handle it in your house, girl. This is a type of woman that I can't stand, who is everybody else's fault that her husband is a cheater, not the husband, not the person who actually owes her the respect. It's not that person who needs to be held accountable. It's just everybody else. They just need to live in a bubble, a dark, dark bubble that George can't see out of.
Think Martha and the work wife will grab lunch or something. Maybe they pack something for my husband.
I didn't realize my pajamas warranted a workplace investigation, but Martha's stopping by. She's making an office call. That's the only logical solution here, is to go talk to the head of the household. Man to man, woman to man. I'm sorry, but what's to discuss? My floral house coat? What are we talking about here? You mad that I don't wear cookie pajamas outside? Like, I'm sorry, I like a little whims in my life. Now I'm trying to decide whether I need to put on some real pants and head to my husband's office. Because if Miss Martha and the work wife start exchanging notes about my morals, I fear this situation is about to become bipartisan, and I don't know if I want that. But at the same time, I fear my husband should be able to handle this, right? He'll just come home to me, 2 spicy cubes deep, and we'll talk about my discretions while Martha has her decimal meter. I don't know.
Real quick side note before we continue, because I don't want to just let that slide by, but a work wife, yeah, I don't love that. I don't love it. Um, I don't want to say it's an insecurity. I don't think it is. I just think that's a little bit too far. You can have friends, I don't mind, but the term I think takes it a little bit too far. I don't know. What do you think? Are you okay with your husband, wife having a work wife or husband? Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway. But that is all I have for you guys today. All my complaining and ranting about HOAs and weird husbands. For one, I will always be an HOA hater, a HOA hater. Sue me, I don't care. And I will always be one of these husbands hater also. Like, don't be a creep, respect your wife. Miss Martha, I will always be a hater of women like her too, because you need to check the right person and not the world around you. You are not the world's mother and you cannot control other people, not even your husband, Miss Martha. Surprise, surprise. But I'm sure she knows that already, which is why she's being a hater to everybody else. Anyway, what do you guys think? Have you guys ever had to deal with HOA nonsense? And HOA members like her just being crazy and out of pocket, or maybe somebody's wife or husband coming for you when it's really not you the problem? Let me know. Let me know. I'm gonna link Miss Olive's TikTok profile on the description box below. And I will catch you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're just talking, chatting it up about people who like to put their life and their weird stories online. We're just here for entertainment purposes, okay? Catch you next time. Bye.